How was the shower?
It was experience for sure. It was cool though. Everybody was giving me like all these different things, mustard, mayo. I got some baby powder in there. It was interesting. And it was freezing too. They dumped a cooler full of water that was freezing cold. So
How cool was it to get that support from the guys right away?
it was amazing. I felt it throughout the game too. Like I went out there multiple times, and Julio was like left on base or whatever, and he was just like take off his helmet, like looked me in the eye, like let's go. And then after we had the big inning, JP and Julio both were just like, we got you. Like just keep grinding out there, like keep doing it. I was like, this is awesome. Like I watch these guys on TV like all the time, and they're just supporting me, letting me do my thing.
How much conviction does that give you to be able to kind of go out there and be cool, calm, and collected and treat it like another baseball game?
Yeah, I mean, definitely helps a lot having support from them. But I felt like that was my approach today. Like the big thing for me was just like control my breathing, realizing it's the same game. I think it helped after the first pitch. I got a comebacker, and it kind of put me into that mode. But yeah, it was a good day.
You had the home run in the first inning, and then it seemed like you kind of settled down and got into a groove. I mean, I guess did it kind of help a little bit just to get that out of the way early and then just kind of be able to go from there?
Yeah, I wish I didn't have to get that out of the way early, but yeah, solo home runs, they're not going to kill you. I knew one run isn't going to win this ball game for them or lose it for us. So I just got right back on the horse, and that was my main goal, like just go win a ball game. If it was I let up 10 runs and we have 11, that's cool with me. But yeah, I thought that I just flushed it and went right back into the zone.
And you got those first two strikeouts, back-to-back curveball, then fastball. Just how'd that help your confidence, just getting those two outs and getting them like with a variety of different things?
It was cool. I mean, I definitely realized after the curveball was my first strikeout, so I looked for like the throw around, and it wasn't really there. But yeah, I thought it was, like you said, cool to have variety of strikeouts there. It proved that I can attack with whatever weapon and have success.
What did you learn about, I mean, you've always trusted your stuff, obviously, but what did you learn about how it plays against big league hitters today?
When I get ahead, it's good. I fell behind a little bit for sure today, but like I said, my main goal is just compete for this team to get a win. And I realize there's some things to work on, but my arsenal plays, and just show up every day.
How big is that cutter for you? It seemed like when you were in those attack counts, ahead in the counts, the cutter played a really big role in that. You mentioned you've tweaked it a little bit. Mm-hmm. What is that pitch doing for you now?
The cutter is really big for me. I feel like that's like definitely a pitch that I can throw for a strike at any time. So I use that to get ahead and also try to put guys away today. I tweaked it to make it more of like a gyro slider instead of like a true cutter. So I have a little bit more depth, a little bit more horizontal break towards my glove side.
Dan mentioned how fun it is to see the offense put up the numbers it has. What was it like from your vantage point, you know, making your debut, but also seeing Cal go yard, Polanco 3 hits, JP go big?
It was amazing. I mean, that first homer that Cal hit, it was like brand new ball game, you know, 1-1, and that's where I just felt like, all right, I just gotta just keep grinding for the team, and I know they're gonna put up runs. I mean, this lineup obviously is stacked, and we're rolling right now, so it was cool. Seeing home runs from the dugout in the show is a pretty cool experience.
On Cal, just I know you've worked with him a little bit before, but what was it like, you know, having him here with you for your debut? Just how much of a help was he for you?
I think, like in the past, we've worked, like you said. But nothing was like today where we finally, I felt like, got on the same page with a lot of stuff. I think we really understood like spin, when to attack with a fastball, all these different things. And I fully trusted him. I shook a little bit at the start, but towards the end it was just like whatever he was calling, I was putting my full trust into it, had conviction in throwing that pitch, and results were good.
Can you tell us about the moment when we see you get that final strikeout in the fifth and saw you kind of pump your fist in excitement? What's going through your mind at that moment?
Put my team in a chance to win the game, you know. I thought that was a big strikeout. I felt like it could have been a crooked number. And I felt like I located that changeup pretty well. I might have got a little bit of a good call. But yeah, I just was super pumped up, and I didn't know if I was going back out or not. I like to try to stay calm throughout my outing, so a little fist pump and all that type of stuff's like about as much as I do, really.
Speaking of Cal, you did have the mound visit, the hitter before that strikeout. Can you share anything about was it just a recentering, or like you were working through some traffic, maybe more challenge than you had?
Yeah, he just kind of came up to me and said like, if we're gonna land breaking balls in the zone, like attack there. But I kind of told him, like, I was like, let's go with some fastballs and just go get outs real quick. I felt like that's where I was in the zone at that part of the game. But it was super cool. JP and Cal came up to me twice a day in a visit and just like really reassured, like, you're out here doing it. Trust your stuff.
And how many friends and family did you have in the stands today?
I think I got 15 tickets. I don't really recall exactly, but yeah, I had a good amount of people out here today.
You guys gonna go to dinner afterwards, or?
Oh yeah, I'm sure we'll celebrate this all night. Go get dinner, maybe get a nice dessert. We'll see what happens.
Congrats, man.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Nice job. Congrats.
Another nice W today. Good series win. Keep stacking those up as much as we can. Really nice. I thought, crowd was awesome today. Again, a lot of energy. Getting on the board early. Cal's homer to kind of, answer back to theirs in the first. In the second inning, coming alive again offensively. Just some really good at-bats all along. Guys were scoring a lot with 2 outs early on. Not just a long ball, obviously, putting some hits together, driving in runs, taking advantage of our chances that we had. Logan Evans, I thought, pitched an outstanding ball game. A guy in his debut seemed very calm, very collected. He was in control of what he was doing the whole game, and I thought he pitched very well for his first time out. I don't think you could have told it was his first time out had you not known. I thought he pitched very well. Mixed all his stuff. That's what he does, and I think that's what makes him successful, and he was able to do that again today. I thought, Mooney tonight or this afternoon, he's just been so consistent for us, and that was a really outstanding outing for him. He just went right to the strike zone and attacked it with his great stuff, and I thought it was a great ninth inning. So a great ball game all around. Offensively, Polo continuing to swing the bat, making just consistent contact. But all up and down the lineup, contributions. Whether it's a walk, whether it's the hit to give us a run or two, it's been really good to see these guys do their thing offensively, and a lot of credit goes to the whole offensive department. Gar on down, Seitz, Bobby. These guys are doing such a great job with our hitters, and it's been really fun to see that.
Dan, what did you see from Logan's composure, especially? I mean, he gives up the first inning homer, but he seems to just kind of flush it and move right on.
Yeah, I think again, I said something to him before the game about just go out and have fun out there, and he said, "Yeah, I've been waiting for this for a long time." So he was excited to go take the mound, and I think his mentality was that he was going to go attack, and that just says a lot about where he is. He's comfortable with who he is. He's comfortable with his stuff. And he just went right at him with it. And, I think that's what we saw from him today. Again, just mixing it all up, doing what he does, and staying true to who Logan Evans is.
Just how much reassurance does that give you to bring him up now? I mean, you obviously have a need with 2 All-Stars out of your rotation, but that a prospect can come in and pitch the way that he did.
Yeah, I think so much is said about Woody and Trent and the job that they do, and this is just another great example of that. A guy that they've poured a lot into, obviously, and spring training we got a chance to work with him, and to see him come up and do what he does, and just do it with the ease that he did and the composure that he did. It says a lot about how these guys prepare guys, and to know that we were able to get that from the minor leagues, and all the guys that are down there continuing to develop players. It's a credit to them as well, because they're doing an outstanding job of getting these guys ready to perform when they get here in the big league stage.
And what have you seen from JP over these last few games? Got hot on the road trip and has just continued since you guys been back.
Yeah, big homer today, big lift. Just more and more good at bats from JP. We've seen the on base all year, and he's been there with it. I think especially lately, been using that left center side on occasion, and then when he gets his pitch, he's able to turn on it like he did today and crush it. That was a long home run, and his at bats have been so good, and his ability to get on base, make things happen, has been so good. So offensively, JP's in a really good spot. It's done an outstanding job.
You mentioned how much fun it is to see all the runs you guys are posting. The narrative coming into this season from the outside was, hey, these guys can't hit. They're going to have to rely on their pitching staff. Do you feel like the team or anyone took that personally at all?
I don't. I think there's a lot of us that are closed to what the outside world is saying. I think we do what we do, and to borrow a Mike Cameron phrase, do what you do. And I think offensively we've been doing that, and guys have been true to themselves, to what their identity is as a hitter. They've gone out and done that, and it's been successful for us, and we'll just keep doing it. I mean, the idea of baseball is to be consistent with it, and hopefully we can continue that consistency.
And what was kind of the moment? We saw the fist pump from Logan after he gets that final strikeout. What was kind of the moment, the conversation where you told him his day was done?
Yeah, when he came back in the dugout, he had given us 5 innings, which is what we were looking for, a chance to win the game, which is what you want for your guy in the debut. At that point, it was just, hey, great job. His pitch count was about where we thought it was going to be, and he had done his job. He got us deep into the game and gave our bullpen a chance, which was well rested. I think at that point it was just, hey, outstanding job. Congratulations on your debut, and then a lot of hugs in the dugout from guys. I think they were pulling for him as well, and that's this group is a very special group, and to be able to take somebody in like that and want that for him on his first, his debut, and to be there to hug him when he did a good job, that's just an awesome group in that clubhouse.
Dan, can you expand a little bit on the day that Cal had? I know you were asked about it pregame about working with a guy through his debut, but for him to now have a double-digit homer month, I mean, he just continues to hit the ball. And obviously, we know his value behind the plate.
Yeah, offensively, Cal just continues to drive runs in and to hit home runs, and that's not all he does. He, offensively, he gets big hits for us as well. He's just a total offensive player. And again, when you talk about that and you talk about how much he plays and what else he has on defense that's on his plate, it's a lot. It's a lot for him, and he just carries it all so well, and has continued to produce at a high rate, and it's really good to see, and just really happy for the way he has started out this season, and seems to be on a really good pace.
It's been a little bit since Vargas's last outing. Has it just been, not finding the right situation you guys want for him, or is it just giving him a little bit of rest with how much usage?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of usage. He had a little bit of a fingernail thing, so we've been watching that too. So, just wanting to give him the best situation that we can and get him a little bit of rest as well. And it just the way the game went today, it was not a day for him, but he'll be in there soon, and he's been such a force for us here in this first half or this first month of the season. Has thrown the ball well, been in some high leverage spots. He's been a guy that we've really counted on throughout this first part of the season.
Obviously, you said Rowdy was going to go through things pregame. Obviously, he was scratched, and Ben Williamson. Do you have anything on either of those two?
Yeah, I mean, Rowdy was just, he wanted to be in there, but it just, his hand just wasn't to a point where we felt comfortable with it, gripping a bat and being able to get through a swing on that, and chance to give him a day. Ben just had a little bit of a tight back, and again, a chance to give him a day with the day off tomorrow. Both those guys, getting kind of a 2-day rest here. Hopefully, when we come back on Tuesday, we'll be ready to roll.
It's a really good pitcher on the other side, and especially the slider is such a weapon, and it seemed like the team was really able to neutralize that slider today. Was that just being aggressive on the fastball or the pace of the at-bats, or?
Yeah, I think, I really think, and it's a great point because it's a great question. I think Max is tough. And he's got the great slider. He's got a good fastball. He threw his changeup pretty well as well today. But I think this is really just a symptom of the type of at bats our guys are going to put against him. And being able to be patient enough, not chase, and make him throw all of his stuff in the zone. And when he does, being able to get a barrel to it when he does. I think that's really what he ran into more than anything. I think it's the credit goes to those guys in there that put up some really outstanding at-bats on him. And like you said, he's a tough customer, but they were ready for him.
It feels like there's a different hero out of the bottom of the lineup today. It was maybe Leo Rivas working all those walks. Again, something that doesn't necessarily show up in the box score, but has a ripple effect on the rest of the lineup.
Yeah, again, setting the table. The big 2 out or the big RBIs, couple RBIs for Julio. I thought that was a great at bat, but made possible by Leo getting on. So, yeah, again, there's just up and down. We've talked about it so much. Whether it's a hit, whether it's a walk, it doesn't matter. These guys are doing it, and I think that's why the offense has been there so consistently.
It's obviously still super early, but how big of a mental boost is it for these guys, first place in the AL West after today?
Yeah, it's April. We've got a long way to go, but obviously we're glad to get started on the right foot. But I think these guys are committed to kind of being in the moment, and that just it kind of gets you prepared each night for what's up, what you're ahead, and what you're up against. And I think a lot of times kind of nose down and just keeping going is the best approach. And these guys have nailed it. And it's great. We're in first place, but we got a long way to go. We got a lot of things that we got to do. And, consistency is something that we're going to continue to look for. And these guys have figured out how to do that.